Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Collaborative Canvas by Ankesh Saxena. Today, we have a special guest. Meet Marcela Gallego. She's a Colombian, a wife, a mom of three living in the south of France. Marcela is an international business professional, trilingual, with more than 15 years of experience in multinationals. She chose to start her own online business so she could stay at home with her kids, travel to see her family, and provide a better future for her children. Now she's passionate about showing everybody and every day people that incredible potential of online businesses and technology, helping them earn income online and take control of their lives. Now you would be wondering why I changed from consumer insights to be something like, do your own business. It's again part of online business. It's again part of your own personal branding. And Marcela has actually proved that the way you can control your life even post covid, when you really have to be with your family and spend the life together. This episode is all about how a work life balance can be actually balanced. So we'll take you back to the show where we'll be talking about how this can be done. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Marcela on the screen.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor. It's my first podcast, so I'm going to try to make it short. I try to speak a lot sometimes. So Ankesh already introduced me, but I wanted to say that one of the reasons I'm here is because I'm a big advocate for technology and for digital marketing and online businesses, because it can really change the lives of everybody if we let it, of course. So back a little bit my background. So I'm Colombian, but I've almost 20 years living in Europe. And so around 7 years ago, I had my successful career and everything. And when I moved to France and I started a new family, I understood that it was not easy for people who don't have our families with us to continue growing our careers. So to me, being independent is very important, but also being with my children at the same time. And I understood that today with technology, we can actually have both worlds if we want to. So right now, that's how I found a program on how to start an online business. And that's what I help people do right now. So I had no idea at the beginning what to do. I knew that I wanted to do something with my life, something different, something that I could have flexible schedules and that I could travel to visit my family. And that's how I found this program. It works like a business in a box program. So if you don't have an idea about a product or any technical side, because I'm not very technical savvy, let's say, but here it provides everything and it takes you by the hand. So we have mentors and coaches, and we have the program, the products, and we have what we call affiliate marketing with high ticket products. So it actually is worth our time because we need to work. And the idea, of course, is that we learn with the training about entrepreneurship, because most of the people don't have any idea about how to run a business before. And it's very hard sometimes if you don't know what to do. And also on digital marketing. So digital marketing is a huge right now is one of the highest skills right now that I would recommend everybody to start learning. So, and that we provide that in the training as well. So it's been great for me, and that's why I want to teach others to do the same thing.
Nice. I mean, the first thing, I did my bachelor's of digital marketing a few months back. In fact, few years back when I was into the COVID. But you made a very relevant point, Marcela. That's, you don't need actually the technical know-how if you really wanted to do business. One thing which I learned from you over the time that we have been connected, I think it's more than 3 months now. I love your post mostly when it is centric around what people have done. It's all about experiences that you show there. And the industry that I belong is market research. And the biggest challenge for me is that I am not somebody who can write reports. I can tell exactly what people actually believe in, what consumer behavior is all about. But when I started reading your post, I realized that, how about what I do if I just put down that as an experience and talk about, this is what I do. becomes easier for other person to understand. And again, part of the sales element to it, because if I really tell the story that this is how it is being done, people would comprehend it and would learn from it. So that actually got me interested in your post to talk about your own experience when you started this online business program. What exactly came to your mind? I mean, I know family was one, technology was two, and then sitting here back managing the work life balance. How did everything just managed out so well? And you have successful list of clients not just in France. I saw a few of them coming from South Africa, and then Australia. It's like everywhere. How can you actually
Yeah.
do that?
Well, that's so first I wanted to say something. I come from market research myself. I worked 7 years for one of Dynata, it's called right now. And I understand completely what you're saying. It's all data, it's all numbers. So it's really hard to connect the numbers or the data with the human part. And that's what digital marketing storytelling is what you're saying, is how we can connect both. Because most businesses, when they have the numbers, it is hard for them to translate that and to say to the customers, actually to put themselves on their other perspective, to understand what are their needs. And when you translate everything through stories, it was different because it catches the attention in a different way. And that's something that I'm working really hard right now to try to improve my writing in that sense. So that's a little parenthesis that I wanted to mention, because it's really, I mean, we come from the same market research industry, which is very corporate. And here's, um, so you know how it works. And transition to becoming like online entrepreneur, it was different. As you know, market research is a very solid industry, and it's very nice to be there. I had a very back in the time, I had a very good job, and to me it was hard to say, how can I change this entirely what I have been doing in the corporate world and do it myself from home. And I don't have a boss anymore. I have to manage my own hours. I have to manage what I'm going to do and manage everything. So that's part of the beauty, and saying, okay, probably I don't come from a corporate office anymore, but maybe the financial advantages and the advantage of the online world can even be bigger than that, because for once, I get to work with people from all around the world, as you say. And that's the beauty of online. The beauty of digital marketing and business is that I work from people from all over the world: Sri Lanka, Canada, Sweden, South Africa, Philippines, Australia, everywhere. I am in touch with people from all over the world. And it's not only that, it's also flexible. So one of the biggest advantages I started this is because I don't rely on 9 to 5 anymore.
Yeah.
I really needed a way to manage my own time. And there are a lot of people that have their own job on the side and do this during the weekends and during the evenings. It's because I think the mindset of people is changing. People are understanding that the standard way of how we studied and built a career and finding a job and having a salary at the end of the month, probably it's not what our parents, it worked for them, but it's not working for us anymore. Because first, we are not able to afford a house anymore. We're not able to see our children. We don't have our families to help us with our children. So there is some kind of break in the system that we need to reinvent ourselves. And technology is where it's helping us to move forward that.
I think the digital program that you actually bring onto the board, it is far better than that word which people used to say during the COVID era, moonlightning, I guess. You know,
I don't know. I'm not
so
familiar with that.
basically, it's I don't exactly remember the word. Somehow that word comes up. It's called moonlightning or something else. But it means that if I'm working for one organization at home, I can work from any other organization as well. I think your program is far better than that, because now people with a different mindset and have probably gain some entrepreneur skills, be the boss of their own business, is something totally different than working for two different organizations while working from home. This is to certain extent ethically right. For some it may be not. It's still a very debatable thing. But I think this digital program, definitely helps earn extra income. But what would you recommend in that case? How this can be actually worked upon? What exactly this digital program of yours is all about?
Okay. So in my case, what we do is, as I said, is a full package for people who don't like, there are people who really want to change in their lives and they're looking for something, but they don't know how to start or what to do. They don't have an idea, they don't have a product. So we give everything, right? So my first advice for everybody who is looking for something is, if it's possible, don't quit your job because the thing with entrepreneurship is that it's not easy. There are a lot of people who say, just quit your job, be your own boss. And sometimes that's really hard because you need to eat. You need to buy shoes for your children, right? So I always encourage people who can do it and have a job to keep it as much as possible and start incorporating the new business on the side if they can. I when I started, it's because as an adult, I was pregnant with my second baby and I had just lost my job and I was in a foreign country and I was really thinking, what can I do from home that can also work from the future? And that's when I saw this business program and I understood the powerful, how powerful can be digital marketing and working from anywhere and learning that. So I said, okay, I'm going to try this. My case, it was different, but at the same time, I had savings and I had really, my parents come from for a business too. I knew it's not something that you can make quickly in 2 or 3 months, but I knew that you need to start learning, that you need to start working on it. So there are people that do this full time and they do it full time, right? But I'm not saying that you need to do it. The advantage with technology is that there is also a big part of it that is called automation. Automation. So just to put you an idea, an offline business, an online business. Offline business, you need to pay for rent. You need to pay for employees. You need to pay for products and inventory, right? This is the standard way that we know businesses forever. What happens with online? And then you have to be there all the time. Online, you don't pay for rent, you don't pay for products unless you do e-commerce probably. You don't need to have employees. You need to have utilities. Of course, there are other kind of investments that need to be done because even though it's online, you need to pay, but it will be much lower than a regular business. So this is really opening the door for many people that first don't have as much money to invest as a regular business. Second, they don't have the experience because we give everything. The third one is that they can do this even if they don't have the same disponibility, availability than somewhere that a man, I'm sorry, I'm comparing, like my husband, he could do it, right? But I am in charge of the children. There are people that physically they cannot travel to an office. There are people who are taking care of someone who is ill at home. So, and there are people that live in cities or places in the world where they don't have access to good education or they don't have access to good job opportunities. They don't live in big cities. They live in the countryside. Right now, I live in the countryside in the south of France, and I take care of my children. And I manage my schedule, how it works best for me and my family. They are my priority. So yeah. This is really changing the way and how we do businesses today, right? So I just said that any business requires time, effort, and some kind of investment, but the advantages are great. I work with people from all over the world. I'm learning. I'm passionate. I wake up every day and I want to sit and work. It's nothing to do with the regular kind of work that we are used to.
I mean, you're basically juggling between the work and you're managing the life. But when it comes to actually, that's a very good example that you mentioned about offline versus online. But considering that it's all online, and when it comes online, the presence is equally important. How much you're actually active on different social media sites and stuff like that. So, how does online presence impact the professional visibility as per you? Because managing the home, managing the work, managing yourself, There's so many things. And the moment you, step out of that ecosystem, the impressions go down. That's how we call it. How do you
Yeah.
manage that visibility overall?
Oh, this is a great question. So yeah, at the beginning it was really hard because when you start a business, you have a curve, a learning curve. So at the beginning, you have everything. It can be a little bit overwhelming even because you say, okay, I would like to start learning and doing and following the training, and I need to post and I need to be present online and all these kind of things that you're saying. If I'm not, then I lose visibility. So once you start learning is when you understand how powerful automation is. So in our program, we have a huge part of automation. I don't know how to say this word. I'm sorry. Automation.
Yeah.
It means that it works 24/7, even if you're not connected. And we have a system in place that takes care of selling for us too. So we don't have to write to every single person and explain everything to every single person. What we do is try to use the advantage of using social media is that we can put things so people can read it. And what I do is I plan my schedule in advance and I batch content. Batch content is mean I prepare everything before and then I schedule my content. And what I do is I plan on specific timings where I sit down when my baby sleeps at 2 p.m. That's the time we're doing this podcast right now. It's
Yeah.
because I can connect and I can sit down. I can interact with people. So I work around my family. Okay. And when people write to me, I say, I'm sorry, probably I won't answer right away. I answer a little bit later when I can. And this is the beauty. People can understand my meetings. When I have Zoom meetings with my team, people that I help them, I have my children sometimes with me. And that's fine. And we don't need to feel embarrassed about it because it is the new way of working. People understand and they're starting these businesses because of exactly the same thing. So there is a way. I have my notifications off most of the time, only on things that are very important. So I know I can filter when something comes, it's important. So I check it. If not, then I don't. So there are people that are scared of working with social media and technology because they say that it will take their entire time. And I think it's the opposite. How much time are people spending on social media scrolling through their feeds? Really, and the kind of content are they watching, right? I don't watch anybody. I watch only content that I can learn from, people who inspire me and things that are valuable to me. So I'm more responsible with the kind of content and how to use my social media presence than most of the people I know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that we had a conversation about switching off the notification. So yes, of course, when I drive to office, there are number of times my brain tickles any or some idea, and while driving, I cannot just simply write it down. So I generally keep a recording device with me. Sometimes phone, sometimes my recording device, and I just speak it out on the recording device so that I can go back and listen again. So I think that's a beautiful way of how you can actually manage yourself. Unnecessary notifications needs to be switched off because that would, eat up your lot of time. And then when you have, say, 24 hours window where you have to, plug and play with a lot of things, you really need to know exactly when your brain should not stop working or stop working, and how you can manage this out. But yeah, I mean, I think the moment I stop doing anything on LinkedIn, I can see my impressions are going down, and then I have to recalibrate myself to, go back, think of more content and what I can actually, put forth, and how I can ensure that people are still connected. I think at this point of time, online business definitely ensures your online presence, because the moment you lost it, or it's so called, the moment you not utilizing yourself into the forum, people will forget you. So I think managing that and then thinking about different contents, I think you have a finest of the key strategies that you have enhanced during this.
Yeah, I think there's something important there too. Is it the kind of content that you post? And I know that being present is important and being consistent is important, right? Because you say the moment I disappear, then everybody disappears. But I think that people sometimes confuses being present and being consistent with the kind of content, and especially who are they talking to? because the person who you're talking to is actually the most important thing. And I see these all the time with companies and entrepreneurs, and actually in people who are starting an online business. They start talking about everything. They see something and say, oh, I like this. Oh, I have this idea. And it gets really crazy because you start thinking and going, and sometimes you lose idea and then you don't post because it gets a little bit stressful. So the first thing, and I didn't do this at the beginning either. I started recently. And when you think really about the person that you want to help, your dream client in that case, and then you build your entire strategy around this, it removes a lot of pressure because the kind of content is very directed to that person, and you talk to them, and then you can build the stories as we talked at the beginning, right? And when you schedule content in advance, then it leaves, it removes that stress that sometimes a lot of people that work online have. So it's a bit about how managing and and especially having a clear strategy. That is important too.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, I think you very clearly mentioned this out, that how you choose when to work, when not to work. When your baby's sleeping, you're taking a podcast right now. When your baby's sleeping, you think of how when to keep the meetings. Your content is also ready because now you know that there are three different clients, so everything would be different for all three of them, not just the similar content can go. And I think it's totally different from how you actually brand this out. So considering that it's a digital environment, and if we are not able to manage our work and life, along with we're not managing our own brand, then it's no point doing any business. Just sit back home and just work things out. I think those are the very clarified, detailed, and very specifically mentioning about how you can strategize your own work in a given day. I think people should learn from that. I mean, I definitely, whenever I read your post, it gives me a lot of insights. Sometimes I've been doing those things, and then I realize, oh my God, somebody is else also doing the same thing, and we are just. I mean, for example, you worked for Dynata. I am also an ex Dynata,
Yeah,
but we
that's
never
right.
spoke. We never met. We never got a chance to speak. And being a small word, we still thinking alike. I switched off my notification long back because I really wanted to work on few other things. And then I manage my time exactly the same way that you just mentioned. So I think there are a lot of people who are actually doing this, but there are a lot of people who actually need to know. And your digital program is definitely, be very helpful for those who really wanted to achieve something in their life. And again, guys, it is not an extra income. Oh, sorry, not an extra same income. You can do anything. If you really wanted to learn from Marcela, she'll be available every time for you. Just connect over with her over the LinkedIn, and you can actually find different avenues. She's full of ideas. She's full of solutions. I spoke to her and I got to know that, it is just not limited to our own thoughts. And if you have a thought in your mind that you really wanted to, inspire or aspire for yourself, just speak with her and she'll let you know exactly, where to head from. And again, digital marketing is definitely something, it's booming. You should also do that. I would probably agree with Marcela. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Marcela. It was such an insightful discussion. I mean, I think I don't even have to take the notes. Everything got stuck here. And of course, your posts are there, so we know exactly where to reach you out. um, Anything that you wanted to conclude while we sign it off?
No, I'm just saying that we are living an extraordinary time right now, and we need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, of course. That's the last strategy that you can actually go with, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. And I'll mention Marcela's details at the end of the video. Please do share, like, and subscribe these videos because we worked very hard to, give you what you actually need. And definitely, stay alive, stay put, stay healthy. See you in the next episode. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.